For now, the House stands adjourned and you will all be upstanding. Businesses lined up this morning, you bear with the leadership and yours truly. There will be an opportunity to prosecute those businesses later.
And provide punitive measures for sexual offenses. It is 5 minutes past 9:30, the time appointed for the House sitting on Wednesday morning. And any moment from now, the Speaker presiding over the business of the National Assembly will be making their way into the chambers this morning to preside over the business of the National Assembly. But let's now have a look at Standing Orders number 44, subsection 2C, where a number of members of the National Assembly will be requesting 4 statements. Given priority under this category is Honorable Gabriel Kagombe, Member of Parliament for Gatundu South, who will this morning be seeking a statement from the Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations. The statement to be requested is in regards to the compensation of ex-service officers of the Kenya Air Force. And that statement will be handled by the Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations. Member for Nandi Hills, Honorable Bernard Kitur, will be requesting for a statement. And this is pursuant to Standing Orders number 44, subsection 2C, on the operations of the MasterCard and Visa in the country. And his statement will be handled by the Committee on Finance and the National Planning. The other request this morning will be coming from Honorable James K. Oyo, the MP for Muhoroni, on the resettlement of community in Koguta, the resettlement of Koguta community in Muhoroni constituency. And this committee, this statement touches on the Committee on Lands, and the Committee on Matters Lands will be mandated to have a look at these matters of the resettlement of Kogutu community living in Muhoroni constituency. Honorable Arthur Wario, the Member of Parliament for North Hor, will also be requesting for a statement this morning. His statement is in regards to underutilization of key heritage, ecological and tourism sites in the northern part of the country. And the statement on underutilization of key heritage, ecological and tourism sites in the northern Kenya will be handled by the Committee on Tourism and Wildlife. In this statement, the Member of Parliament for North Hall will be seeking to have the committee look into the issues of underutilization of some of the tourism attraction sites in the northern parts of the country. Away from the prevention of livestock and produce theft, Bill 2023, a bill that seeks to curb the theft of livestock in the country. The National Assembly will be debating and considering the bill by Honorable Member for Suba, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2022. Let's now have a look at the provisions of this bill by Honorable Millie. And the principal object of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2022 is to provide for the regulation of assisted reproductive technology to prohibit certain practices in connection with the assisted reproductive technology, to establish an assisted reproductive technology directorate, and to make the provisions in relation to child born of assisted reproductive technology processes and matters connected thereto to the assisted reproductive technology. The bill provides for the Assisted Reproductive Technology Directorate, including the functions of the directorate, the obligations of the national government, the obligations of the county governments, the composition of the directorate, and the experts and consultants. Part 3 of the bill, being clause 11 all the way to clause 19 of the bill, is providing for matters regulating prohibited activities, including the use of embryos, consent of parties without consent, circumstances for undertaking assisted reproductive technology, and circumstances under which assisted reproductive technology is precluded, the use of embryo in a woman, the gametes obtained from a minor, and the use of gametes. Clause 20 all the way to 32 is seeking to provide for matters regulating rights of parents to donors and children. This includes the use of sperm after the death of a man, the right to assisted reproductive technology, the rights to assisted reproductive technology service, the duties of the assisted reproductive technology expert, parties to a marriage, the rights that accrue to a child, surrogate motherhood, surrogacy agreements, termination of surrogacy agreements obligation under the surrogacy agreement, prohibition of sex selection, and the restriction on sale of human gametes and embryos, as well as prohibition of commercial artificial reproductive technology. The bill is also seeking to provide for matters access to information, including assisted reproductive technology register, provision of information by the directorate, minor not to be given information from the directorate, and the restriction on the disclosure of information. The bill is also seeking to regulate licensing. This includes the requirement for a license, application for a license, inspection of the premises before a license is issued, and the general conditions for licensing for storage of gametes, the grant of licenses, and the responsibilities of a supervisor, as well as the revocation of a license and application to the Cabinet Secretary for review, appeal to the High Court, and the temporary suspension of the license. On your screens, you can see members of the National Assembly speaking in low tones or consulting among themselves. at exactly 15 minutes past the appointed time of the business of the National Assembly. We'll be getting to understand why the business has taken some time to commence. But as we await for the chamber to commence business, the bill that has elicited mixed reactions from members of the National Assembly on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill. That seeks to regulate the assisted reproductive sector in the country through the introduction of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill of the year 2022, that upon the passage of the motion number 8 on the order paper this morning, the House will be proceeding to consider the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bills number 61 of the year 2022. Some of the clauses that had not been considered by the committee, as the member for Homa Bay Town was not present during the time when the House was considering some of the clauses. They had to push forward for the consideration of his clauses. So upon the passage of the motion on the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bills number 61 of the year 2022, under order number 9, which is the Committee of the Whole, where the House will be considering the bill, the clauses proposed by Honourable Member for Homa Bay Town will be considered under motion under order number 9 on the Committee of the Whole on the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill. The allocation of help funds to support students enrolled at the Kenya Medical Training College is a motion by Honorable Abdi Shurie this morning, motion number 2 of the year 2025, that aware that Article 95, subsection 2 of the Constitution provides that the National Assembly deliberates on and resolves issues of concern to the people, and further aware that the Higher Education Loans Board (HELB) is mandated to provide financial support to Kenyans pursuing higher education through loans, bursaries, scholarships, and noting that students enrolled at the Kenya Medical Training College KMTC currently total approximately 70,000 students, with 30,000 of these having joined the institution in the year 2024. The Member of Parliament for Mbalambala is concerned that 40% of KMTC students' population require financial support, similar to that offered to students in other tertiary institutions such as the technical training institutions in the country, but are excluded from receiving HELB support, and appreciating that education funding plays a vital role in enhancing access to education in Kenya and hence boosting the economic growth of the country. The member is seeking to have the National Assembly have the government, through the Minister of Education, facilitate the issuance of HELB loans to students at the Kenya Medical Training College. And if no funds are appropriated for the exercise, approval is hereby granted for the National Treasury to release funds amounting to not less than 1.5 billion shillings to the Higher Education Loans Board. This is pursuant to Article 223 of the Constitution for loans to KMTC students, and that such release be regulated through the third Supplementary Estimates 3 for the financial year 24/2025. Our dear viewers, Article 223 of the Constitution allows the Treasury as well as the Executive to commit monies for some functions, and after the disbursement of the funds, seek the concurrence of the National Assembly on